is motivating volunteers. Motivating volunteers, Toastmaster Robert Karanja, over to you.
I will not renew my membership. Those are the words of a vice president education in a particular club. I was not surprised. You see, before that conversation, for a few months, she had been one of the most motivated and effective club officer that I knew. However, as time went by, her enthusiasm and initial spark had gone out. This is not unusual for club officers, for them to disengage in the middle of their term, or if they remain to the end of their term, for them not to return to Toastmasters. Motivated club officers are vital to the positive and supportive environment that we value at Toastmasters. It is therefore essential for us to find ways to keep them motivated. Over the last 9 months as an area director, I've had a front row seats to club officer performance. This evening, I would like to talk to you about how we can keep our club officers motivated by valuing their time. We can value their time by making it productive. We can value their time by making it painless. And finally, we can value their time by thinking of it as finite. Let us start with the first of these three. We can motivate club officers by making their time productive. If a club officer does not get a good enough grasp of their role in a short enough time, they start to feel useless. When you become a club officer, there is a lot that you need to learn. You need to learn how to navigate the club central part of the Toastmasters website. This is where club business is conducted. You need to learn how to access a myriad of resources. You also need to learn different terminologies and club deadlines. Without having this information quick enough and at the tip of the fingers, it is easy for you to feel incompetent and discouraged. We can help club officers feel productive when they give us their time by offering the new ones 6 months mentoring. This time will be spent getting them oriented to their role, helping them access all the resources that they need, and regularly giving them feedback and reviewing their progress on their role so that they can grow as individuals. However, unproductivity is not the worst case. This brings me to the second point. We can motivate club officers by making their time painless. When Toastmasters starts interfering with a club officer's life, it becomes a chore. We're not just Toastmasters. We are parents, we are children, we are spouses. We are students in schools. We are employers and employees. When you think about all these other aspects of a person's life, it is not surprising that Toastmasters is not the highest priority thing to them. When we try and push this and make it the most highest priority in their lives, it starts to interfere with these other aspects of their lives. And Toastmasters becomes a painful experience to them. How can we help club officers not feel painful when they're giving their time? By making their work flexible. By simply looking at the list of responsibilities that a particular club officer needs to accomplish and deciding which are the most high priority, we can adjust it to match their lives. For the officers that have a lot of demands that are coming in from external aspects of their lives from Toastmasters, we can provide them with support to help them through those difficult times. However, there is yet another subtle way of being unmotivated. And this brings me to the third point. We can motivate club officers by thinking of their time as being finite. When we make too much demands on the time of a club officer, it gets to the point where Toastmasters starts losing its utility. Let me illustrate this using the example of a cake. I love red velvet. I can absolutely enjoy a slice of red velvet cake from CJ's restaurant. However, if you gave me a 3 kilogram cake of red velvet and told me to eat it, by the time I was getting to the second slice, I would absolutely hate it. And it is the same with Toastmasters. A few engagements over the week can feel enjoyable and can help the Toastmaster grow. However, it gets to the point where they become too much, and that joy that they have been deriving from their Toastmasters experience diminishes very quickly. It is not a surprise that Toastmasters International requires the clubs that meet weekly have elections twice a year. And how can we help them in this? This requires personal discipline in you as a member and as a leader. Whenever a Toastmaster appears to have a lot of time, we tend to take advantage of them. We tend to demand a lot of that time. However, we can exercise personal discipline and restrain ourselves. My personal approach is to never require a Toastmaster to give me more than 2 hours of their time in a week, and this includes their regular club meetings. Let me conclude. Club officers are volunteers who are giving us their time. We can value this time that they are giving us by making it productive through orientation and mentorship. We can make this time painless by making their work flexible and offering them as much support as they require. We can make this time valuable by thinking of it as infinite and not making unnecessarily high demands on it when they offer us. We can all play our part in making Toastmasters a volunteer-friendly organization. Before I take my seat, you remember that Vice President Education who did not want to renew her membership? After weeks of applying these motivation techniques, she has not only renewed her membership, but also accepted a nomination to be the next president of her club. Valuing a volunteer's time motivates them, and it works. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.